सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यङ्करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं सुखमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतः चार्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः। तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि। धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सताम् वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम्। श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्तक्षणात्। In the 13th chapter of the 3rd canto, yesterday we saw that from Brahmaji, along with the 4 Vedas, different kinds of Upavedas, Nyaya Shastra, and the whole of Yajna Karma, different kinds, all of them were born out of Brahmaji. Still, the progress of the universe was not progressing forward. So as Brahmaji was thinking, from him the 2 parts, the masculine part and the feminine part, came Manu and Shatarupa. And from this Manu and Shatarupa began the Mithuna Dharma, wherein Stri Purusha Samyoga was the cause for creation. Now with this Swayambhu getting married to Shatarupa, in the beginning they had 5 children. Of these 5, the first 2 were Priyavrata and Uttanapada. Remember these 2 names? I remember these names from my Amar Chitra Katha. That is where we first read Bhagavatam, Sri Krishna Leela. It was the Dhruva Charitra. We'll deal that in a couple of chapters ahead of now. Then he had 3 daughters, 2 sons and then 3 daughters. The first daughter's name was Akuti, the second one's name was Devahuti, and the third one's name was Prasuti. Manuji got Akuti married to Ruchi Prajapati. You remember the 10 children that were born to Brahmaji? In the 10th one was Narada. Of those 9, Akuti was married to Ruchi Prajapati. Devahuti was married to Kardama Rishi. This couple is also a very well noted couple in Bhagavad Shastra, and even in the philosophical thought flow we have their name well thought of again and again because of their son. Both Kardama and Devahuti are remembered because of their son. So he was the Kapila Mahamuni. And the third one, Prasuti, was given into marriage to Daksha Prajapati. We will also come to that part of Daksha Prajapati's story. That is also another Bhayankar Khanda. And with these 3 daughters, married to each one of these Prajapatis, different orders of Praja was filling this world. But as they had started out doing, as yesterday we saw, earth was in deluge. And Lord was approached. Manuji approached Brahmaji and he said, Hey Pita, now for Manuji he is Pita. For us he is Pitamaha. Pitamaha, our grandfather. Dadaji. Dadaji because we are Manu Santati, so Manu being our father, we are the prototypes, he is our main prototype from whom we have all come into existence. The father of that Manu becomes our grandfather. So he called him Pitaji. You have asked us to create and we are all ready with our plan and scheme to procreate and fill this whole universe. But we need a ground firm enough so that we could reside and create. So Brahmaji said, Oh, Bhumi hai na? The earth is there. Said, yes, but it has reached to the Rasatala. Rasatala is one of the 7 underworlds. Somebody has to bring that out. Now Brahmaji started thinking, how do I bring that heavy earth to a level wherein it is out of waters and Manu can use it? He was very severely contemplating on different plans and schemes to bring it out. As I was reading that story, I got remembered that I was living in Hyderabad and I don't know what to call it. A pond, a lake, or a no, that water, it is pretty dirty water. It is industrial waste. We used to call it Vaitarani. But anyway, the government decided to have the single largest Buddha statue, monolithic statue, in that huge lake. And in one of the parts where they found this huge rock, they carved it out and meticulously put it on a huge transportation device, because small 18-wheeler would not suffice. So they had to really make a special custom-made vehicle for it, brought it to the shores of this lake, and as they were shifting it from here to the equipment that was supposed to take it on the waters, it sank down. Where? To Rasatala. So that is where 80% of 1,000 and odd or 2,000 and odd Ganesha get submerged every year, wherein we find the water level little increased because of that. So maybe when we used to have the headlines, Buddha meets various Ganeshas. So they had to plan a method in which they could bring that Buddha out, and they didn't want it to break or tie it down with something, and it was so heavy and huge that any other process would break the monolithic statue. Finally they found an indigenous method wherein they tubed it all over and suctioned the air out, created a vacuum inside, and it floated. And then they put it on a floating device and then reopened it and then erected it. So Brahmaji was also thinking on the same grounds. So what do I do with this earth? How do I bring it? As he was thinking, from his ushvasa, from his breath, exhalation, came out a small little boar. A very small little boar. And as he was looking at it, what exactly fell off in my exhalation? As he was looking at it, within minute, not minutes, within a minute, that small little baby boar became a huge, big, right in front of Brahmaji's eyes, became a huge boar with a different kind of a physique, hair all over. Yesterday we also read the boars and pigs come under which category? Those whose hooves are split in two. That is what is a boar. So they are four-legged one and nice beautiful teeth coming out, bright shining white, and it seems as though the entire universe air was being sucked in and exhaled out by that huge structure of the spore. So Brahmaji was also looking at it, that which came out as Angushta Matra, this small little one suddenly became this big. What is happening here? Though it looked very terrible in its form, in its appearance, the way it looked at Brahmaji and all these 10 kids of Brahmaji, all of them felt really prashanta in their mind. They did not feel agitated in spite of the terrible form. So all 10 of them decided, this must be the Adi Varaha Avatara, wherein the Lord, for helping out Brahmaji, has taken this Sukara form. So if somebody says, pig, that is a avatar, Adi Varaha. Adi Varaha, the first boar form that came in. And the boar has got this strong smelling capacity. They say it is better than the sniffer dogs, but they cannot be trained as you can train the sniffer dogs. So it started smelling for earth, and it tore open with its hooves. The space went up for what? so that it could dive deep into the waters. It took a springboard launch. So it took a deep dive, went up into the space and then tore open the skies. There is a beautiful description. As it was entering into the waters, the sky followed that because of the speed with which the Varaha Avatar was entering into the waters. The sky also, the clouds also followed that Varaha Avatar into the waters. So as he entered, splitting the Samudra into two, entering deep into it, it appeared as though to the Devatas in the Brahmaloka that the Samudra was heaving up and down. So for them from the top view was as though Samudra Bhagavan was, when the waves went up, was crying out, "Hey Yajna Purusha Varaha Avatara, can you just slow down a little bit? It's down there. Mother Earth is down there. Can you slow down a bit? I am going out of proportions." It appeared. Or somebody said, no. He is feeling so happy to meet his own creator or the creator's source, Narayana, in this form. Having been blessed, he is just heaving out in happiness. He is jumping out in celebration. So in through that he went, and in the Rasatala he saw this earth lying down, and then brought that earth up. As he brought it up, all the rishis who were there, you have Kardama, Ruchi, and Angira, Vashishta, Narada, all of them started singing praises to him. Says, "O Pavitra Varaha Avatara, Adi Varaha, Jitam Jitam Te Ajita Yajna Bhavan." So he is called Yajna Varaha. Yajna Varaha, the one who has put an effort to bring out the earth from the waters of deluge. And then, as they were praying, he looked around. With his hooves, made that waters firm. On that he laid down earth. And he looked at Brahmaji, that this is what you are looking at. And they were still praising. So what did they praise? They say, the earth on your, the teeth that are there, it appears as though the Gajaraja, the Gajendra Moksha time, that Gajaraja takes out a lotus, so that earth is looking like a lotus on his tusk. It is the same way it is appearing here, and you look, though terrible in your out form, because you had to dig it open and bring it, but your eyes, the compassion that we saw, feels such fulfilling that we could see the first different form of yours other than the Chaturbhuja avatar. That was the Chaturbhuja, this is Chatushpada. So we are blessed to find this Adi Varaha Avatara, which helped us to bring out this earth so that we could procreate. Thus, having praised by them, Maitreyaji says that the Adi Varaha Antardhana went back to its abode. Now, as Vidurji was listening, Vidurji must have heard in his lifetime hundreds and thousands of times this Bhagavad Katha. That which he is again hearing, just because he was in love with hearing the Lord's glories. So he was looking, mouth opened wide. I said, Maitreyaji, did you forget something? I was eagerly waiting. I had listened to all your Anu, Paramanu, Trisranu and all that calculations so that you would explain something in detail about Varaha Avatara. But you completed it. So in the 14th chapter, he, in a surprise, looks at him and says, Bhagavan, did you not miss something in Varaha Avatara? He says, Lord, I am satisfied with the whole Kala Swarupa that you explained, but I am somehow not satisfied with the description of Varaha Avatara. To be specific, the first Daitya, Hiranyaksha, was annihilated by this Varaha. I am eager to hear that. You missed that whole part? Come on, please. Tell me that in detail. It is something like you must have seen with your own kids. When they love a certain story, it can be the prince some of these stories, what is that doll's name? Barbie doll. The Barbie doll story books, and then one horn unicorn stories. Now, how do I know all these stories? In one of the houses that I went, this little girl took me to her closet and she showed me all the books. Okay. And I didn't understand that girl's language, luckily. So she brought out all those 10, 15 different varieties of books, and then she put it in front of me. And then the father looked at me and said, Aaj ho gaya aapka kaam. I said, why? You have to read all those 10, 15 books to her, that is when you'll have food. I said, ye kaun si musibat hai? So there were a couple of these stories which I knew, and I was saying it out of my mind and just flipping these books. She won't agree. The story which I have been hearing for this page is entirely different. You say what is here, and she would not allow me to go forward. And there was one book of that Barbie doll, some princess story in that, Princess Barbie. So the 3-4 बार, again, मुझे भूख लगी है. And finally her mom came to my rescue and said, Beta, I'll read it to you. And the mom must have read another 5-6 times. I said, the parents really need to have a lot of patience dealing with that, constantly reading the same stories again and again. Either you must be crazy or you must have fallen in love with those stories. Or you are in love with that person who is fallen in love with those stories. Either or all of the above. Similarly, when we are in love with that main, supreme, Narayana himself, how many other times we want to hear his stories? It doesn't feel boring. As some of the kids once asked me in a general informal gathering, I think it was in one of the lock-ins, how many times must you have spoken on Bhagavad Gita if you had joined the ashram in 93? So it was a tough call. So I sat down, calculated, and said 15 times minimum. All of these 18 chapters? Yes, all of the 18 chapters. And it was as though like in unison, all of them said, don't you feel bored? That which you are in love with, how many other times you repeat? You don't feel bored. That which gives you a newer depth every single time, you never feel bored. That which gives you a newer perspective, you never feel bored. It's like a kaleidoscope wherein every time you see there's a different angle, different color, different dimension you see. Similarly for Vidurji, who must have heard this Bhagavad Katha several number of times. So he remembers the sequence. Maitreji, 1 minute. तेनैव तु मुनिश्रेष्ठ हरिणा यज्ञमूर्तिना आदिदैत्यो हिरण्याक्षः hata ityanushruma. I need to hear of that story wherein he just not brings the earth. उसमें climax नहीं है. He goes down, gets the earth and places the earth and they all praise it, done. There is no fun in it. What happened to that Adidaitya story in that? So Maitreya says, ठीक है. Imagine, I would have been really amused to look at both Maitreya ji and Vidura ji. Because Vidura ji by that time when Mahabharata war was done, he was of the age of Dhritarashtra and Pandu. So he must have been at least 100 plus. Now at 100 plus, very eagerly catching hold of Maitreya Rishi to find out all the stories, and Maitreya Rishi equally aged. Exchanging the stories would have been pretty amusing. If I were there, I would have been watching and having my fun, having my kick out of it. So Maitreya Rishi says, Sadhu Viratvaya Prushtham Avatara Katham Harehe Yatvam Prachasi Martyanam Mrityupasha Vishatanim. He says, thanks for asking this, because just by the Kathamrita hearing, the fears of death and mrityu and limitations can be gone across. Now let me explain what happened. Because to explain that story, I have to give you several other stories that are related to all that Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu and everybody. I need to relate to you several other stories. That's why I just edited that out and gave you the crux of the story, that the earth was brought. But anyway, I'll go into those details. What are the details? He says that Kashyapa Mahamuni had two wives. One was Diti and the other one was Aditi. So for a generic remembrance, those who are born to Diti are called Daitya. Diti apatyam daityaha iti uchuhu. Those who are born to Diti are called Daitya. The first vowel which follows the first consonants gets elongated. Like Vasudeva Putra. What does he become? Vasudeva. Diti apatya. Diti is Putra. They become Daitya. And Aditi's Putra become Aditya. Aditi's Putra become the Aditya, the glorious one, the gods. So what happened? Before this whole war between, or the Yuddha between Varaha Bhagavan and Hiranyaksha happened, it was Hiranyaksha's mother, Daksha Putri Diti. She went to Marichi Nandana, her husband, who was the son of Marichi, Kashyapa Mahamuni, and then said that I want to be blessed by a son. And what was Kashyapa Mahamuni doing? It was the Sayankala, the culmination of the day into the night, that particular threshold, wherein he was doing the Sayam Sandhya and offering the offerings, the ahutis, the sweet pudding offering into the Homakunda as the evening offering. And as he just completed that and he was planning to sit for meditation, there comes Diti. And he says, as the elephant crumbles down, crushes down the banana plant, he Hey Kashyapa Mahamuni, the Kamadeva has crushed my mind and it is out of control. It is seeking a son from you. He looks at her and says, this is not the right time, Devi. If you wait for another prahara, now I can use those words very freely, since we have already discussed it yesterday. Since we share that common knowledge, I can freely use it. So one prahara, if you wait, this dinner will go away, this day will go away. In the night, it is ordained by the scriptures that it is at the night time that we should engage ourselves in procreation, not during the daytime or even during this punya sayankala samaya. She was bent upon asking, your mind is now corrupt with the kama vasana and nobody seemed to be stopping it. He says, tathastu. See, in those days, it was with these Mahamunis, they had the Ichha Shakti. More than the Sanyoga Shakti, it was the Ichha Shakti. He said, tathastu. Now when he said tathastu, he looked at the time. He looked at his wristwatch. He said, Bada durmuhurta hai. So remember, when they are born, at that muhurta, you make the horoscope. But then he had mentally calculated, Kashyapa Mahamuni calculated, that it was not a horoscope of these kids that were to be born, it was a horoscope. So with this muhurta of his sankalpa, that she be blessed with a son, he calculated their future. And he said, this was a very wrong muhurta that you asked for santana prapti. But anyway, if you have asked tathastu, maybe it's so. Now having said that, Diti got little terrified. Why do you say it is durmuhurta? What is going to happen of these kids? Brahman, ma me garbhamimam brahman bhutanam rushabho vadhita rudrah patirhi bhutanam yasya karavamaham hamsam. He says, Hey Bhagavan, now with this garbha, they did not do any aparadha. It was my aparadha to ask for a child, putra kama, in a wrong muhurta. Why should they be tortured for what I have gone through? Now Kashyapa Mahamuni says, they were not by an accident. They were to be born in your garbha through that kama vasana. And because you have had that in a wrong time, there will be two, amangalamaya, with no auspiciousness in their presence. Two children will be born. Adhamaha, jataradhamau. How will they be? Adhama. They will be the most sinful, cruel, crooked kind of children. Now which mother would like to hear such a child would be born? She was feeling tortured. And he says that in their hands there will be so many pious people that will be killed. There will be so many Mahatmas that will be disturbed. And they will also be trampling around in all these three worlds. She says, now for the mistake that I have done, can I ask for something that you can bless them with? Let them not die because of some shapa or some kind of a treacherous death. Can they be blessed with the death with Swayam Narayana himself? He says, tathastu, but not only that, but your grandson will be of great fame. Look at the calculation, Baba. He is not only predicting Hiranyaksha, Hiranyakashipu's life, but also the grandson's life. How will that grandson be? As he said, Savai Mahabhagavato Mahatma Mahanubhavo Mahatam Mahishtaha Pravruddha Bhaktya Hyanubhavita Shaye Niveshya Vaikuntamimam Vihasyati. He will be the one who will be respected even by the people from Vaikuntha. Though born of such treacherous one, he will be Mahabhagavataha. Mahabhagavataha, the one who is praised by Bhagavata itself. Mahatma Mahanubhavaha. Mahanubhavaha, that one whose existence is again and again thought of, remembered, such a one will be born. And then he says, how will he be? It is so contrary to the explanation given to this child's father and Chachaji. Alam pataha shilodharaha gunakaraha hrishtah paryardhya vyathito dukkiteshu. Para dukkiteshu, the one who sees or feels the pain of somebody else that he sympathizes with. And he is alampataha. Alampataha, he is not a kapatadhari. He will be a very soft-hearted, straightforward and deep in bhakti. That he will be a beacon to remember in bhakti. Such a grandson will be born. Now, having heard that these both children that will be born terrible, but they will be blessed by the Lord, who will be. Now she knew one thing. If Narayana himself is taking them or killing them with the Narayana's touch, with the Sudarshana's touch, or any other ayudha used there. Normally it is Sudarshana. That is when you get the Sudarshana. That they get mukti. May they be treacherous, but let them be blessed with Narayana taking their lives so that they will be firmly abiding in Narayana himself. Now, having said this, what did Diti do? But she had a thorough willpower. Diti. Inside her heart was this question bothering, that if these children be born, they will be creating such terrible sequences out in the world. Constantly they will be killing everybody, plundering everybody, and these three worlds will be a terrible place to live in. So what did she do? So it is said in the 15th chapter beginning, it is said that Prajapatyam tu tattejaha paratejohanam ditihi dadhara varshanishatam shankamana surardanat. She kept that tejas of Kashyapa Mahamuni in her garbha. For how long? She didn't need any kind of artificial freeze or anything. In her garbha only she kept it safe. For how many years? Varsha shatanam. Varshani shatam. 100 years she kept. Now what happened with the tejas of Kashyapa Mahamuni? That they started pulling all the tejas of everything around in this universe. Indra lost his tejas, Surya lost its tejas, and all of them ran to Brahmaji. Devaha uchuhu. O Lord, it is in your presence. Tama etad vibho vetha संविघ्नाः यद्वयं भृशं नह्य अव्यक्तं भगवतः कालेन अस्पृष्टः वर्त्मनः. If they are born, they will be killing us. If they are not born, we are losing our tejas. Oh Lord, get me some solution. What do we do with these kids? Now Brahmaji said, "Aao bachcho, sit." Now remember again the sequence. This story is told by whom to whom? This particular bit? Maitreya and Vidura Sambhashana, which is being told to Parikshit and this is being told to Parikshit by Shukdev ji, which is again being told by Suta ji to the other rishis there. In the Suta Yajna, in the Mahayajna, there are these Shaunakaji rishis, they were being telling. Now these devas have gone to Brahmaji. So Brahmaji said, "Sit down. I need to tell you a divine secret." The moment you use the word secret, सोता हुआ भी जाग जाता है. You just have to make it look. You know those people who read palmistry, Hasta Samudrika Lakshana as it is called. You just have to learn the skill. Skill not to read the hand, but just to make that body language. Your dhanda is shuru. You look at the hand and with sincerity go down below, look at few lines and then look at them from different angles. Look at in the front, look at in the back, look at in the sides. And then go to one specific spot and then don't say a word, don't utter an emotion, just say this. And then ask for the other hand, put it aside and compare and say, and then leave it at that. I tell you, you ask them to sit, they sit, you ask them to stand, they stand. This is called a business marketing strategy. Any MBA students or professors? This is one beautiful technique. Similarly, Brahmaji said, "Let me tell you a secret, divine secret." All devas who had come with so much of pain and misery sat down. "Acha, हमें भी नहीं मालूम, क्या है? What is it?" He said, "It is long, long ago, so long ago, that is the beginning of the creation." Now for us this is still beginning of the creation only. Now Brahmaji, imagine he saying long, long ago, beginning of creation. He says, in the beginning of creation, Manasa me suta yushmat purvajaha sanakadayaha. This Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana and Sanat Kumar, these four kids of mine who are born of the Manasa, te ekada bhagavato vaikuntasya amalatmanaha. They were with their yoga shakti traveling in different brahmandas. If you have that yoga shakti, it is said that you can have galaxy travel, galactical travel, idhar se udhar tak. And in one such travel, they reached to Vaikuntha. And they were ecstatic, they were happy. And it took a long time for them to reach to Vaikuntha. They were looking at all other places, now they have come to Vaikuntha. How was Vaikuntha? They say that as they entered into Vaikuntha Dhama, the first thing they observed, everybody in Vaikuntha was looking similar, just like Narayana himself. Narayana 1, Narayana 2, Narayana 3, Narayana 4. Everybody were looking sarupya. sarupyagatam gataha. They were looking exactly like Narayana. This are the people there. How is the place? They say, that place reaching where there is no kamana, there is no desire left in that heart. Just being there, there is some kind of an ecstatic feeling, amazing feeling of satisfaction and contentment. And that which is the Vedanta Pratipadya, that which is given as the crux of the Vedanta, that Adi Narayana who gives blessings to all his bhaktas. In his loka, there are many Gandharva. How are these Gandharvas? They say, Vaimanikaha salalanaha charitani yatra gayanti. Who are these Gandharva? They are circling around Vaikuntha. It is like a huge symphony, if you can imagine. If this is Vaikuntha, can you imagine along with me? If this is Vaikuntha, and aerially there are Vaimanikaha, they are in different flights, different airplanes. There are some which are made of gold, there are some which are made of crystal, there are some which are made of different other precious stones or metals. In their own Vimana, they are all circling around that Vaikuntha. Maybe one of them, Chitraratha maybe, because he is one of the Gandharva, main Gandharvas. So he is conducting the symphony. And they are all singing in sync, in chorus. And just that Madhura Gana, which is such a melodious, we never heard of before, such kind of melody. And that place itself has some kind of a feel of contentment already, having reached where. So there are these Vimana, and they are not UFO. We have already identified them. They are the Gandharvas, flights, airplanes, Vaimanikaha. And then there are small little, it is like 7.1 theater Dolby, THX surround system. Or if you go to this mini theater, what do you call those? IMAX? Where they show all these space and planetarium and dome-like. IMAX? Okay. They have 24.2. They have 2 surround systems and it's amazing. They show how many big the speakers are. And if you have seen, they're each 6 footers, like taller than you. If you stand next close to it, you will feel your skin, your heart beating with the vibration. So in that small little sounds, choreographed, orchestrated by what? The Brahmara and the other birds, along with the Gandharvas. Such a beautiful description that the Chitraratha is conducting the symphony and Gandharvas go flat. And the Brahmara in the high pitch tuning themselves to the Gandharvas are melodiously singing, and the different birds, there are pigeons, there are cuckoos, there are hamsa, there are parrots, there are small little sparrows, all different kinds of varieties of birds, each one in sync. They are making this beautiful melodious, it is not a random sound, it is a very melodious kind of ambience created. These 4, they felt so good being there. And then there is Lakshmi ji. Lakshmi ji is a special mention of her here with a quality. She says, Shri Rupini Kvanayati Charanaravindam. The one who is at the Charanaravindam of the Lord, Shri Rupavati, Lakshmi Devi herself. Everywhere else that she is Chanchala. The only place she has complete focus is at the feet of Narayana. पैसा है ऐसा, the money is, the nature of it is that before you can see, before you can visualize, it evaporates. Today here, tomorrow there, day after tomorrow there, it keeps going around. That is her Chanchala Swabhava everywhere else. But the only place that she is Achala is at the feet of the Lord. And how is she? They say that as she is pressing the feet of the Lord, she has bangles. Okay. And she every time pushes them up and presses and they fall. And when they fall in such a rhythm. And then sometimes she moves her feet from one side to the other, and the nupura and her legs make that special enchanting sound. And the devas are ready to serve this Lakshmi ji so that they can get some krupa from her. And devas are, like something like us, but with a different perspective. Why are they trying to get some glance from Lakshmi ji so that their files which are in front of Narayana can be forwarded? माँ तो कृपा कीजिए, हे mother, help us from Narayana. And it is something like, you are with the father, mother. Whenever you have a big budget thing, not that you are afraid of presenting it to your dad, but there is a little apprehension. You don't know how they will react. Let me find a good moment and then I'll just tell him, be around. So these devas were hanging around. So she was there and the devas were there. And as these Sanat Kumaras, so pleased with this whole thing and so eager to see the Lord, they wanted to climb up the ladder. As they were climbing, they had finished the 6th step, they were on to the 7th step. And there came in two similar looking young Palaka who were Chaturbhuja. So what happened? They put their spears stopping these 4 young ascetics. See, they were born before all of this. But since they were eternally 5-year-old, बच्चे लोग जाना नहीं. You kids should not go inside. Wait. Now they looked at each other and looked at them and said, "Baba, जाने दो." They said, "You are not to be allowed inside." Now these 4 suddenly saw themselves transform and their eyes get red. They got krodha, all 4 of them. Krodha for what? We have been hearing that in Vaikuntha is a place wherein you have samabuddhi. Samabuddhi, wherein you are the ones who are reveling in the thought of the Lord, and anybody else reveling in the thought of the Lord, you have that Samabuddhi to see them as Lords their own, and you will not create these differences and to stop anybody from meeting that Janardana. Janardana, the one who is protecting people. I said, for this, because you have such a Veda Buddhi in Vaikuntha. See, that Veda Buddhi is something that you should have in Martya Loka, on the Prithvi, not in Vaikuntha. You are unfit to be here. So go down to Martya Loka, finish off those vasanas which are still lingering of Bheda Drishti in the Martya Loka, and then come back. It's something like, not to be very serious of the Shapa, as they were getting in, they saw something like on the cloth, some kind of a blotch or something that has fallen. They said, जाओ धो के आ जाओ, यहाँ वहाँ मत धोना, पृथ्वी है, वहाँ पे लॉन्ड्री अच्छी होती है, वहाँ पे धो के आ जाना. They did not ascertain what period and what time they will be there, and these two were pretty petrified. So they immediately, along with these, reached to Narayana. Bhagavan, we know we had this Bheda Drishti, we created something wrong. It was terrible on our part that we did this. But the mistake has happened. The Munis also said, Lord, this is the place wherein there should not be I-ness, minus. Sometimes when we are with Gurudev, Swamiji, we used to find this. They were all devotees of Gurudev. Very devoted to Gurudev. But between the devotees, there was a very stiff competition. Possessiveness of who has a better control over Gurudev in what they give, what they feed, what they offer. It has a different kind of a kick to it, a kick of a devotee. Because a disciple has no kick, he is only kicked. Sashanat sishyate yaha sishyaha. That one is sishya. So he cannot be such audacity, cannot carry such audacity to possess the master. So within the devotees you find this. Sometimes even when the bhiksha schedule is already given, that this person is bringing, there will be 3-4 of them who would bring it just in case. And I used to wonder with Gurudev's capacity, that from one house he used to have 20 varieties. Such there will be 3-4 varieties. On his plate, even 1 spoon each. उस दिन का खाना खत्म. I would think poor Swamiji's stomach. How much it had to take. And they were so possessive. They would bring clothes to Swamiji. I brought this. They are doing service, but with the idea of possessing Swamiji. So when 4-5 of them bring like that, and Gurudev would wear something else totally. And they are like, you did not wear. Did I promise that I will wear? You brought it. I did not promise that I will wear. And he used to give a good treatment. It was fun watching from outside all that which would have happened around Gurudev. So probably there was that abhinivesha, sense of attachment, sense of possessing the Lord. For a brief moment even, as I said, this is worth getting purgated in the Martya Loka. Go there. Thus having said by the Munis, the rishis now go to the Lord. And they say, first thing, Brahmaji, our father, when he was explaining all this creation and you, and the first time he met after his great tapasya, there was immediately a form of yours that left a deep impression on us, on which we have been meditating so far. That on which we have been meditating so far, for the first time we are seeing Pratyaksha in front of us. See, again, there is another beautiful capacity which is left unsaid here. It was not that they were carrying forward their anger. It was not that they were carrying the regrets or feeling guilty of having been disturbed or having given a sharper to those Dwarapala. That chapter was done, that file is closed, and they've put it in the system and they've gone forward. The moment they have seen God, anything else was non-essential. So that on which we have been meditating, for the first time we have seen it in front of us. Who else can understand what these people are telling other than human beings? Sometimes you go in these malls and you see something, you really liked it. My take, the first time you see something and you really liked it, its price tag, irrespective of its size, is larger than your wallet. A very generic statement made. So you bent down, looked at the price tag, and said, oh wow, I need to get some permissions, papers moved. It's a really pretty one. I really like it, but the tag is too expensive. But I know I can swing it through if I have another 15-20 days. उनको मैं समझा दूंगी. Or if there is a electronic gadget and he wants it, and then he says, उसको कैसे तो भी समझा दूंगा. And day in and day out, what is the constant contemplation going on? Sometimes you just drop in to have second, third, fourth, fifth look at it. And the day you would make a down payment and take it for yourself. Anando brahmeti vyajanat anandadhyeva khalvimani bhutani jayante. So ananda, because that which you have been thinking about and having it all along suddenly is there right in front of you. This is that which we have been meditating for so far. Dhyayataha. Today we see it right in front of us. Lord, all our doubts or anything, even if there was a little of malina, it got burnt out. We are so trupta. Now they did their praise to this Adi Narayana. And what did Adi Narayana do? Collected these four. Made them sit in his asana. Why? He says, this is something that is, we'll have to understand even in the Vyavahara. He says, Jaya Vijaya are my Parshadas. And since they are working for me, first take my apologies on their behalf. Now Sanat Kumaras are looking at each other. Lord, why are you apologizing? The Lord says, it is not the sevak that has to be punished, but it is the responsibility of the owner of those sevaka. So on their behalf, whatever they have done wrong, please excuse me personally. He didn't have his disclaimer. Anything within this bound area, whatever happens, I am responsible. Beyond this, even on the steps, is not my responsibility. No, it is the responsibility of the owner that anything like your own kids, right? They say, I don't know about the legality here, until they are 12 years old or 18 years old, whatever they do, if it is something punishable by law, who gets punished? If I am not wrong, is the parents get punished? There are certain crimes in which the parents are liable, legally liable to be punished. Yeah, kids do get punished. Poor fellows here also, they have gotten punished already. But he, feeling as the responsible father, he says, it is my responsibility, please excuse me. Now Brahmaji feels bad. Because who are these four Sanat Kumaras? Brahmaji's Manas Putra. Now he comes and says, Oh Bhagavan, I feel so ashamed that you have to say sorry to them. They were just enveloped by the Krodha Sarpa at that moment. You have to please forgive them. Now seeing this confusion, like, going one after the other, somebody backing the other, finally the Kumaras say, Lord, whatever it is, don't we still become the instrument of yours in this universe? In a way, it is your will that got executed through us. So neither we are to regret for it, nor you have to regret for it. There is something that has to be achieved through these two getting this sharper, and they are anyway coming back to you. Where will they go? Even those which have been dispensed so far away from you come back to you sooner or later. That which has been so close to you, how can it go away from you? Like yesterday we have seen, what does a Manvantara mean? What does a Kalpa mean? In one of the Kalpa, they take few lives. How big is an event is that? From Brahmaji's standpoint, from Narayana's standpoint. You where you are? Because in Brahmaji's world, one Manvantara is like 1 hour. In 1 hour there are 71 minutes. Yesterday, if you remember the calculation, in one of the cycles is their birth. Okay, in 1 minute they will be back. And it is your will that is working. So finally they prostrate unto Narayana and they leave. So in between there are two stories now, parallel stories. One was that Diti sought blessings from Kashyapa Mahamuni to get a son. On the other hand, there was this, on the, what do you call it, flashback. Suddenly a flashback saying that these two were given the Shapa and they are now in Diti's Garbha. So now you know where we are in the story. Scene cut from the Vaikuntha. And again a scene opens in Kashyapa Mahamuni's ashrama where Diti is still holding that bija of Kashyapa Mahamuni's sankalpa. And then she, with the constant prayer and suggestion from Brahmaji, releases these two into her womb. And thus these two children are born, conceived. So what happened? While they got conceived and while they were taking birth, and this comes in the 17th chapter, that the whole universe started trembling. There are all scary features that happened in this universe. In the villages, on the streets, you could hear the fox and the jackal and the dogs making all funny noises. You know, sometimes they make that whining sound. Even the foxes make that sound. And there were these special effects by the owls, and that is what is written there in the 9th and 10th slokas. Antargrameshu mukhataha vamanti vahni ulbanam Srugalaha, the fox. They start making all these inauspicious sounds. There were lots of tsunami. Huge waves, tidal waves that just engulf this world. There are so many inauspicious things happening. Why? These two are to be born. So it is said, probably from here, that when you are born, the auspiciousness of your presence henceforth, or the inauspiciousness of your presence henceforth, is is kind of portrayed on the day that you are born. The events of that day. Now, when I wanted to look back the day that I was born, the first thing that put me off was the name of the year. Every year has a name. Like this year is called Sarvajit Nama. Sarvajit is the name of this year. The year that I was born was called Rakshasa Nama Samvatsara. I said, nah, I don't want to go any further in reading what happened then. Whatever is, let it be. It is too late now. Too late to change anything that happened then. These people, when they were born, all kinds of utpata everywhere. And then, very soon, these two were born out of Diti's Garbha. In the 18th sloka, the calculations of the Garbha is of a different kind. That is why I am mentioning this 18th sloka. Prajapatir namatayor ekarshid yah prak swadehadhyamayo rajayata. One of these was conceived earlier, and the later one that was conceived comes out into the world first. The bija that was conceived first comes out later, but the bija that got conceived later comes out first. You got the sequence? Normally, what do we say in our world right now? Whoever is born first is the older son or the older one. The later one is the younger one. But the calculations of who is older and younger, especially when they are twins and triplets and quadruplets, is the last one is the first conceived. So that pinda, that individual is the oldest one. So here in their case, the later one which was conceived came out first, and the first conceived came out later, and their father named them Hiranya Kashipu and Hiranyaksha. The one who came from from Diti's stomach first was named Hiranyaksha, and the one who came later was named Hiranyakashipu. So the older brother was Hiranyakashipu, the younger one was Hiranyaksha. Unlike our calculations. Hiranyakashipu, right in the beginning, did his tapasya and got the blessings from Brahmaji to get over the fear of death. Only fear of death, not death in per se, only fear of death. And he loved his younger brother, Hiranyaksha. Hiranyaksha also loved his older brother, but had a special streak to go out into the world inviting people to fight with him. It is like, "Aa bail, mujhe maar." He would invite people, irritate people to come and fight with him. And then, with pride, annihilate them all and say, "All my shatrus are gone." He would instigate people to become his shatru and then kill them all. So after a long time he didn't find anybody, so he started searching. He went out into all different worlds. Everybody said, "You are great." See the buddhimatta of theirs. If you cannot take them on, the best thing, agree, you are the greatest. He started searching out in all three worlds, and he almost like tore open this ocean, went into the oceans. And after a lot of travel, he reached to this Varuna's palace. When they reached Varuna's palace in Vibhavaripura, Varunaji said, "Arey Baba, you are such a mighty one, searching for your right opponent in wrong places. Looking at your might, I am so pleased that there could be one opponent at least for you in this whole of this universe, who can, I think, come to somewhere closer to your capacity." And then he almost, in a way of praising Hiranyaksha, also curses him. "The one in whose hands your death is certain is not here. But let me tell you who is it. The Adi Purusha, the Purana Purusha, is the one who is right for you. I think if you wait here for some time, he will come here to pick Dhara Devi, Earth, his other wife. You know, Lord Narayana's wife, there are two wives. One is Chanchala and the other one is Achala. Bhudevi and Sridevi. So Sridevi is there serving and Bhudevi is down in Rasatala. If you wait for some time, hang around here. You hang in there. आप कतार में हैं, कृपया प्रतीक्षा कीजिए. Just hang in there in that Rasatala. You will find this Yajna Purusha, Adi Purusha coming in a Sukara form. He will be the right match for you. He said, "Shabash Varuna. Finally I get somebody to fight with." So like, when the description given like a gorilla, he beats his chest, takes his heavy gada and goes to Rasatala. And then, after having reached the Rasatala, he looks at this Adivaraha avatar and says, "When Varuna Bhagavan said that there will be somebody match worthy for me to fight with, I thought there will be a decent opponent. I didn't think that I'll come here to fight with somebody who is cleaning up the dirt of the Devas in this form." So imagine what does the sukar, the pig do, the boar do? Cleans up all dirty places. And with you I have to fight? And calls this Varaha Avtara different names. Varaha Avtara says, you are a Simha. You are a Grama Simha. You know what is a Grama Simha? Who is the one who is really brave on the streets of the village? That anybody new coming, it shows off its all valor and strength. Dogs. He says you are just a Grama Simha who is eagerly waiting for his death. Even now I give you an opportunity, go away. Prashamito bhava, go away. And this Sukar, when this Hiranyaksha keeps on cursing this Lord, saying, I thought you would be worthy of a challenge, and are you shy? If it were a little Bollywood movie kind, हाथ के कंगन पहन के सो जा घर में कहीं, चूड़िया पहन ले जा, या घर जाके बैठ, मैं तेरे लिए चूड़िया बेचता हूं. Different kinds of, so all that dialogues are given here is what this Hiranyaksha says to the Lord. And the Lord says, Are oh, tam zara. He says, I am busy. You wait a little. He says, what are you busy with? He says, don't you see that I am taking this earth up? I am a little busy right now, you wait. So he goes up, stills the water, places this earth, and then goes back to Hiranyaksha. हाँ, अब बोल. वो बहुत बोल रहा था ना तब. When I was a little busy with my work, you were talking too much, right? Were you the one? Now tell me, what was your problem? How may I help you? And this he says while twisting his gada in his hand. This Varaha Avtara. Now Maitreji explains that Bhagavan, having replied this Daitya's answers, attacks, and they both go on with a equal match, opposing each one of their strokes. And Lord, it seems, was having fun with Hiranyaksha. Then it is Brahmaji who goes to this Varaha Avatar and praises him and says, Lord, enough of playing with this Hiranyaksha. आगे भी बहुत काम करने हैं. You know, as soon as you do with this, you are done with this, you have to come back for this Hiranyakashipu. So after you do this, you go to your pavilion and take some rest, so you can come back and take up with Hiranyakashipu. So he praises the Lord and he says that this one is not worthy of living, and he is the one who was Jaya Vijaya and needs to be redeemed of this Janma. And finally, the Lord takes out his Sudarshana Chakra. In between, Lord has a word of praise for Hiranyaksha. Even Hiranyaksha gets a praise from the Lord. It seems that after having hit Hiranyaksha with his gada, Lord, the gada from the Lord's hand slipped and fell on Dhara, earth. And this Hiranyaksha stopped and looked at this Varaha Avatar and said, pick up your astra. Pick up your shastra, without which I cannot attack you. And this Varaha Avatar said, Shabash beta. Because normally it is the Yuddha Niti, Rana Niti, that if the opponent does not have the astra or shastra, you cannot attack him. And the Lord praises his righteousness, at least an ounce of it, that he still found in traces among Hiranyaksha. And then with his Sudarshana Chakra, does it away with Hiranyaksha. And then the earth is established. Now that the Hiranyaksha, it's a very graphical description of that fight, complete 2 chapters of how each one, how Hiranyaksha attempted to hit the Lord, and how Lord in a very casual manner avoided it, and how each other's astras clashed, and how the Sudarshan Chakra beamed and cut his head, and how he fell headless. I'm just cutting short that graphical description and coming to the point that Hiranyaksha was done with. And then Brahmaji said, here is Prithvi for your further creation, O Manu. Start with your creation. Now that comes to the end of 20th chapter. With the death of Hiranyaksha and the earth being given as a productive resource for Manu to continue his procreation. Now what happens after that, we'll see tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.